they do a frac job, they'll probably park 5 or 6 vehicles there.
I'm sorry, what, I didn't get your name again?
Jake Riel.
We're asking for a site plan again, it's pretty basic, you know, just draw it out, show us where you're getting buildings at, and the rest of it do by hand. Okay, very easy. Myself personally, I don't see a problem with your business at all. In fact, I think it's an asset. You know, I think people with money that like those kind of things, that's high-end stuff, you know, that's good for our community. So, you know, it's pretty basic. We just would like to see it on paper, and what you're gonna do in the future. For, you know, we have more land, more buildings back there. Having people have them do something.
Okay, not a problem. I mean, we've been to council meetings before in the past that haven't required that.
Right.
So, I mean, I was here two months ago when y'all approved the gun shop and everything, and y'all didn't require all that at that time, so I didn't think we were requiring that, so. Okay, not a problem, we can get it taken care of. So, all right.
You want to give,
He's wanting to move in the 15th of this month.
are you moving your entire business over?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. We approved and he gives a site plan and we look at it. He's all for here. So he can do that.
You can authorize your city engineer to administratively approve it upon submission of the site plan and the application fee. It's not what we did on the other.
Guess what?
That's not what was done on the other. Actually, what should happen, and we're going to change this, is you submit the application first and then come to the city council once it's been reviewed. So
Mr. Kenyon.
those are things that we
He
can.
did, he submitted
Mr.
this
Kenyon,
to us, we just don't,
he did. Our application is one page, and they both submitted
Right.
the application. They just haven't paid the fee yet.
But now we have city engineer, and we're gonna have a building official, who's gonna look these over and make sure that.
And I'm not right, what I just said, but you can just draw it out. It's pretty basic, but they're easier when you go out.
They're not building anything.
No.
No, it's all just.
are you gonna be in a financial, are you have to be out there by the 15th? Or,
No, I've been there for 8 and a half
I
years.
mean, you don't have to be here on the 15th. I mean, I didn't hear what y'all said. Could we do that? Approve it tonight and then,
If you want to start March 15th, that's fine too. We can wait a whole month, it's not a big deal. I mean, I've got.
Okay, since you did it, so
It's
would you be so kind if you do that with us?
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll table it.
That works for you? I mean, should we work glad that you're.
Now, one question I have, because like I said, before, none of this has been required. And like the lady said, we filled the stuff out. And at that time, a month ago, y'all had told us, well, y'all need to pay a fee and do this. This is something that's all come to light tonight. Do we have to come back on the agenda again?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're tabling it to the next meeting, it will come back as old business. The council doesn't know what's on the agenda until the agenda goes up.
Right.
So we come here and you do things,
So I just.
somebody may know, somebody may not know.
Okay, well, not a problem. I mean, the thing is, one, we have a piece of property there. And 10 years ago, when we bought this piece of property, we came before the city council. We told them what we wanted to do with the piece of property, and they approved it. We told them we wanted to make a small light commercial park there, and they were in agreement with it. They passed it at that time. And that's what we'd like to continue to do. And we'd like to continue to do it, like I said, within the community. We don't want to do something that we don't want to build something that somebody doesn't want here. So I'm just trying to find out what we need. I want to make sure that they need to be on the agenda, that I make sure we get them on the agenda so we don't miss it for the next meeting.
The council votes tonight to table it to the next meeting.
Okay,
It will come
that
back
way.
on the agenda.
Not a problem. That way I'll make sure we'll get that filled
Just
out.
to your point of, well, there's tractor trailers here, you let them, and that's the whole purpose of doing it this way, so that everybody gets treated the same way. So
Right.
there's a process, everybody knows what to expect, as opposed to somebody makes a better sell, then somebody else does and they approve this and they don't approve that.
Right.
And that can't happen.
Not a problem. I appreciate y'all's time. We'll get y'all the drawings and stuff y'all need. And, I'll give it to Jake, he can pay his fee, and I'll give it to the other tenant who wants to move in, we'll get them to get their fee up there. So, all right, thank y'all.
Need a motion?
So move that we table item number C.
Need a motion by Councilmember Craig to table item C to the next meeting. Seconded by Mr. Christie. All those in favor say aye. All those against? Motion carried. Item D, discuss enforcement of ordinances without police department. Mrs. Potts?
I'd like an answer, that's why. Remember last month I stood up and I asked you and y'all couldn't answer that question? And I had to put it on the agenda and you're supposed to tell me tonight how we are going to reinforce ordinances in the city of China Grove without a police department. Did y'all get that answered for me?
In the agenda tonight, we're going to address possibly reactivating the police department.
And meanwhile, what do we do?
Get the police department in place, that's all
We
you
get
can.
the police department in place, or we decide to also hire a code compliance officer or something of that nature.
Is there like a time limitation? Do y'all know when this might be? How long it might take before we do get a new police department established? Do you have any more or less time gauge on that?
We were going to go into executive session and discuss,
Are we talking months? Are we talking a year from now? Are we talking within the next couple of months? What do
I would
you have
think
any
that-
idea?
I would think it would be within the next month or so.
Okay, because there's some things that need to be addressed, and I haven't addressed them in our neighborhood simply because without a police department, I don't know what good it is to, bring it up. So that's why you had told me at the last meeting to, put that on the agenda so y'all could, get back with me and tell me how we were gonna handle this. So in other words, nothing really can be done until we reestablish a police department. Am I understanding y'all correctly? Is that correct?
That or a code compliance,
Or city marshal.
city marshal or something of this nature has been appointed or created.
Okay. Well, let's hope we can get that in motion quickly then.
Thank you. Consider an act upon a contract for election services with Pierce County Election Administrator for May 10th, 2014 municipal election.
Mayor, I can address that. The Bear County Elections Department administers most of the municipal elections in Bear County, and they have a standard agreement that they send out. Basically, what you do is you pay them, they appoint your election judges, they get your voting equipment tested, they bring in your voting equipment, they handle the entire election for you. They publish all the notices and what have you, and pay them a fee. If the my understanding is that China Grove in the past has not done that, that you had your own elections, although you're getting your voting machine from Bear County, or there's some involvement with them.
You have to know what you're doing.
Okay.
So we had our own election judge and clerk.
And you can do it that way, or you can consider entering into an agreement with Bear County. Most cities do that. You're not obligated to do that. If you do that, the cost of doing that, at least what we receive from Jackie Callahan, is $3,300, $33,1047. That's everything. That's, I don't know how much.
It's about the same then.
It's about the same, or less.
But Jackie told me it was cheaper the way we were doing it. I don't know, that sounds.
Well, that's what she submitted to Frank Garza last week, and I understand that that's turnkey.
What we saved in putting this whole thing together with our staff and putting that thing together. Not only that, Bear County has, they're an outside entity coming in here to take care of it, so they don't have any ties to, let's say, anyone that they send out here is, will not have any ties one way or the other, so everybody in the city of John Grove will feel that it's a fair deal, that, no one particular people are taking control of the elections. So I think myself, I think it's a good idea. I'll go with whatever.
I talked to Linda about it. The city of Castle Hills found that it was cheaper for them to do it through Bear County than it was to do it themselves.
They end up at the end of the election, they end up probating among all the cities, and you're charged by how many precincts you have. So it could be less. I'm surprised that she was able to give a vote, because we never knew until the end, exactly what it was gonna cost. But it was always less. than what we
My
would
understanding
spend.
too is that you can do the early voting other than here, that you can go to those
Yeah.
places
Yeah,
in Bear
go
County
anywhere.
courthouse.
Right,
Some people that work in San Antonio can do that.
right. Mhm.
Some of them are at public schools.
One of the other problems too is that the election judge would have to be a resident of the city of China Grove.
Well, they will have to comply.
Okay, but if we went the old way, the election judge would have to be a citizen of China Grove. Okay, whereas this way, we're using their people, we get Rocky back.
So I think that's a very good picture. Can you say that?
Yes, sir.
Does that sound about right? I'm gonna put that, does that sound about right? $3,300, that's about what y'all normally pay, give or take,
Well, of course, Castle Hill's a little larger,
It's a
so
little bigger, but-
we spend a little more, but I think that's reasonable. I think there's $5,000 in the budget for the election, so that's way less than 5,000.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and we go with Bear County, County Election Services to be our administrator for the May 10th, 2014 municipal election here in China Grove.
Second.
There's a motion by Doug Christie and a second by Councilmember Trey. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. F,
Mayor, before you go to item F, I would ask that you take a look at item J first, because depending on what you do with J, the requirements of that.
item J is consider and act upon the appointment of a council member to replace the councilman vacancy until the May 10th, 2014 general election. Did you,
Yes, I think this may have been on, the January agenda, I wasn't here for that meeting. In any event, you have a single vacancy that exists upon the resignation of Mr. Matsky. Under the law, as a type A general law municipality, if a single vacancy occurs, the council may appoint. You don't have to appoint, you may appoint. If you do appoint, that person would then have to stand for election for the balance of the term at the May 10th, 2014 general election. If you don't appoint, then that person, then nothing gets filled, and it depends on when you appoint or if you appoint. The law does not compel it, it's a decision the council makes on what it wants to do. My understanding is there are several individuals who've applied for the position, and I don't believe the council has had a chance to interview them yet. And you can actually bring them in, have them submit resumes, and interview them like you would interview an employee. that it can work for you. You can do that in a closed session if you want to do it that way. So because those individuals have not been interviewed, that may be a consideration as to what action you take on this item. But that is a decision that is up to the city council and the city council.
In your number one, and subject to the council approval.
Yes.
Don't do anything and put it on the ballot. Because if we do it next week, that's already March, well, they're gonna be here for a month. We're probably gonna put them on the agenda till May, right? And have to be, that's it anyway, right? Is what you're saying?
No.
Did I hear you say that right?
If you appoint somebody this evening, that person will have to run the name. If you appoint them at a later date, we would have to look at the date of the appointment as to whether or not they could even run at that point, because there are deadlines.
We may have to run two elections, not me. So when I say two, one election this year, and then if we want to get, and then next year when our regular term comes up. So it's all fairness to those who put their name in, rather than go through the drudge of elections and make them something like that. To be fair, we table this to see how this, so we can review there's 4 people who have put their names in. Give us time to review that, and like I said, it's May, it's not shall point, so we'll have time, so we can do that and do it next month.
And the suggestion is that we have a special meeting, or wait until your March meeting, and you can put that on the agenda, you can interview the people, or you can appoint a couple of people tonight to interview those people.
I have a question, Mayor. If we do that, and whoever it is that is chosen, and they have to run in May, the deadline to get their name on the ballot, isn't it like February 28th? So we would have to do something prior to February 28th in order for them to have their packet and stuff filled out for the May election.
Can I ask one question? Could I ask one?
Yes.
I'm Margie Holiski. I happen to be one of the ones, but that's beyond the point. When it comes to the election date, since there's only 2 council members that are supposed to be up for election, 2 positions up for election in May, how would this special seat be? Would it be a special item, or would it just be that the first 3 candidates would be the top, of the top vote getters would be the ones to fill those 3 positions? Can you answer that?
You want to answer that one?
My understanding is that because China Grove is not elected on a place system, the council can determine who gets the 2-year term and who gets the 1-year term. And they would do that in their election resolution.
And so in an election resolution, we could come up and say that the 2 highest vote getters would get
The 2-year term,
the 2-year term, the 3rd highest vote getter would get the
remaining 1-year
that
term.
remaining 1-year term.
Okay.
Which I think was a fairer way of doing it than drawing straws or something of this nature.
No, I just wondered how, if it would be a special line item and people would actually go for that one, or if there would just be 3 spots available with the knowledge that the first 2 would be the 2-year terms and the 3rd one would be
You
filled.
would do
Right.
that if you had a place system.
Right.
You don't have a place system.
Right.
So they're all elected at large. Well, they're all elected at large anyway, but there's no place.
Right.
So you're not running for the unexpired term at place number 1, you're just running. And so that has come up, and that was an option that had been suggested.
It seemed to me the better of the options, the other option was the
Whatever method you choose.
yeah, whatever, I mean, draw straws or something like this, or between the 3 of them. This, more or less, it would be put into the election announcement that the first 2 would be for the 2-year term, and the 3rd highest would be for the 1-year term. and it would be set out like that.
That's if somebody has been appointed, like tonight or by February 28th. But if nobody's appointed until March the 6th or whatever that Tuesday is, then they can't file. So are they in for the whole year automatically
That's
then?
correct.
Oh, no.
No,
Well, they can't run because they didn't file
They
in
would
time.
serve until 2015.
Okay, so they're
One
one
year.
remaining amount then. Okay, that's,
We got 1 year, right? Am I understanding?
Yes.
that?
Exactly.
I'd like to make a motion, I can tell you.
Second.
we have a motion on the floor to table this item, that's by Councilman String, and a second by Councilman Gray. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion's carried. Item Next item on the list will be item F, a resolution for the city of China Grove, Texas, calling for a general election to be held on Saturday, May 10th, for the purpose of electing 2 at-large council members, providing for early voting, notice of election, making provisions for conduct of the election, authorizing the mayor to negotiate and execute a contract for election services with Bear County, and resolving other matters incident and related to such election.
Mayor, this is a resolution that's required by the election code. Essentially, you've already approved and negotiated the agreement with Carroll County, so this is just incorporating that in a resolution format. It basically says whoever gets the most votes wins, and it announces that there are 2 vacancies available. If you were to have a meeting between now and February 28th, and you decided to appoint somebody, you have to come back and amend it and add the third position, which you can do. But as it stands tonight, you're only authorizing an election for the 2 positions.
Mayor, I'm moving to approve the resolution. It's from item F, new business. The resolution of the city of Chandler Grove, Texas, calling for the general election to be held on Saturday, May 10th, 2014, for the purpose of electing 2 at-large city council members, providing the early voting and the notice of the election, making the provisions of the conduct of the election, authorizing the mayor to negotiate and execute contracts for election services in Bear County, Texas, and resolving other matters incident and related to such election.
I have a motion for the resolution. Do I have a second? A second from Councilman Trent. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is G, set waive the candidate filing fee.
Mr. Mayor, we've always done wasted in the past, I don't see any reason why we should not do the same this time, so. If anything else, I'll make a motion that we waive the payment filing fee.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Christie to waive the filing fee.
Second motion.
There you go.
Second from Councilman Rips to the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. H, consider and act on calling local sales tax election for May 10th, 2014 for the purpose of street maintenance and repair.
Mayor, I believe this is an item that you spoke with Mr. Garza about, and if the council decides that it wants to do that, I believe you're proposing a 0.025
Right.
increase in the sales tax.
.025 increase in the sales tax, which is dedicated
To street
to the street maintenance. It's not an ad valorem tax, it's a sales, increase in the sales tax, with the sales within the city of China Grove.
And if you approve that tonight, we'll come back with further comments on it. That would be a separate item on the calendar.
It would have to be voted on at the May election, there's another item in that there, so,
Make sense.
on May 10th.
May 10th, yes, sir.
We have to do a resolution on
You can approve it as is, and we'll prepare the
Draft
additional
resolution.
measure. We may need to bring that back in March with the ballot language.
My estimation is this is like a 0.25% increase in the sales tax. We have probably a little bit over 100,000 in sales tax collections. So this would be about maybe 25,000 that would be dedicated towards the road each year. I think it goes for, what, 5 years?
I don't know the exact term on that. I wasn't prepared to answer.
Okay.
It's up to the citizens, so I'll approve to put it on there, citizens want to pay it. I make a motion that we call for local sales tax election on May 10th for the construction, maintenance, and street repair.
Have a motion on the floor to, calling for a local sales tax election on May 10th, 2014 for the purpose of street maintenance repair at the rate of quarter, or 0.025.
that.
Have a second by Councilman Schrader.
Discussion on one of that scale, if I do my math right on the dollar, that would be 0.2%, or 2 cents, 2/10%, right?
2.5 cents.
2.5 cents. Point.
No.
Are you doing it, Sam? I don't think so.
No.
0.25 cents.
On a dollar transaction, you pay 2.5 cents.
That's right, because right now you pay 8 cents, you're correct.
In the city of Chattanooga, we pay 7.75%, this would raise it to 8%.
The maximum you can go is
Any other discussion? Have a vote, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed, motion is carried. At this time, we'll be going into executive session. It is 7:31. Under Texas Government Code, and Section 551.071, parentheses 1, parentheses 2, consultation with attorney, Texas Government Code, and it's Section 551.074, personnel. Items A, B, and C. Interview, appointment of police chief, interview, appointment of police officer, special use permit, place of worship. And after that, council will reconvene and discuss and then take action. Please stick around.
Good morning.